For many years, Australia and Japan have been regarded as the top two nations in women's softball globally. Today, you have a platinum ticket at the Blacktown International Sports Park in Sydney as the best of the best face off in the prestigious Down Under Series. Our coverage on Fox Sports, proudly supported by Softball Australia, the Australian Sports Commission, Eastern, Great Treks, NSR Australia and New Zealand, and SportsLink International.
It is an absolute scorcher here at Blacktown International Sports Park, and we are set to see Australia take on Japan in some of the best softballers from around the world. And Olympian Fiona Crawford joining me here today. Fiona, great to see the girls back in the green and gold.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. As we see the Australian lineup here, players to watch for me would be Chelsea Falcon and Stacey Porter, who have continued outstanding form from the Gillies Shield only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, an outstanding game we did see in the final. New South Wales victorious, but both of those sides, players from both of those sides will be teammates here today, and they will take on what is once again a very strong Japanese lineup.
Ichiguchi had a fantastic Down Under series last year and has again, true to form, been playing remarkably well so far. Player to watch would be their pitcher Hamamura, their number one.
One of the stars of this Australian lineup is Stacey Porter, and we caught up with her just a few moments ago.
Stacey, what has the side worked on in preparation to beat Japan tonight?
Well, we know that they're always a tough outfit. It doesn't matter if they roll their second team or their first team out. So I think what we need to work on is our consistency. Unfortunately, our Aussies are a little bit inconsistent at times, so that's something that the Japanese are very good at. So I think if we just put a good performance across the board, we'll be okay.
Well, Lucy, thank you for your time. First question, how will the Japanese athletes perform tonight given the extraordinary heat, given that it's obviously the Japanese winter?
Right. We got here about a week ago, so we're starting to adjust. But yeah, it's been a little hard for everybody. But we're just making sure we drink enough water and kind of pace our practices right now.
Softball very much a way of life in Japan, and Japan an outstanding competitor on the world scene. With that comes a degree of pressure.
Well, yes. I mean, this time we brought a lot of young players that we want them to perform just as well. So yeah, we. Not only here, but back at home, in Japan, they expect us to play well. So, yeah, in a way, there is pressure to perform well.
Well, really hot conditions here at Blacktown International Sports Park. The mercury tipping 40 degrees. But Fiona, these girls in the Australian lineup, they played in similar conditions in the Gillies Shield not long ago, so could well favour the Aussies here today.
They could. It's very, very hot out here. They have played a game prior to this, both the Japan and the Aussie teams coming away with the win, but it is stifling here this evening. Still, as you said, around 40 degrees. I do feel for the Japanese team coming out of the Japanese winter, as we heard their assistant coach mention. It is snowing in Japan at the moment, so a marked difference. We'll see how these professionals adapt.
It is Team Japan who will take the diamond first. Australia will lead off in the top of the first, and Janice Blackman, the outfielder from Queensland, will step up and lead things off for the Aussie Spirit. That is Hamamura, number 23 for Japan, who will start things off on the mound. And you said Fiona, Janice Blackman, the outfielder from Queensland. She's really become an integral part of this Australian lineup.
She has, and she's so effective as a lead-off batter. She's got so many options, as I've mentioned in the past, with a short game and also a running slap option that she's got. So we'll be interested to see what she has to offer here as lead-off.
Being that left-hander, was a couple of steps closer to first base when she starts off, and you say that slapping the ball down that left side is something she does with great effect. 2 balls and 1 strike on the lead-off. And there she is, just slapping that ball to the left side, and the third base not able to come up with the play, so a great start for Janice Blackman. It was Kopata, the third base. A good play on it, but just very quick up the base paths there for Janice Blackman.
And that was placement perfect for Janice Blackman. The ideal start for the Aussie Spirit here against the Japanese side, bringing Lee Godfrey to the plate.
Yeah, Lee Godfrey, the the Western Australian. This is the next danger here for Japan. Janice Blackman showed great speed, making her way safely up to first, but now a threat to steal here to second. Strike called on the outside edge. And Lee Godfrey, part of the Western Australian side, who took part in the Gilly Shield just a few weeks ago, lining up as a designated player in the lineup here for the Aussie Spirit. Shaping the bunt, pop-up taken by Kubata and doubles up to first base. Janice Blackman not back in time. Defensively, outstanding work for Japan in the top of the first.
And as we said, the ideal lead-off, but the worst possible outcome for the Aussie Spirit team. Janice Blackman obviously got a larger jump, and as you play in international competition, if you do, as a base runner, if you see a strike coming down, you do get a larger lead, banking on your batter to put the ball on the ground. Unfortunately, Godfrey unable to do so, and Japan picking up that crucial double play.
And that now brings to the plate the third base for the Aussie Spirit, Stacey Porter. We heard from her at the top of the show. Stacey, a great Gillies Shield and part of that victorious New South Wales team, Fiona.
And she's continued some fantastic form coming into this Down Under series. Very accustomed to playing against these Japanese pitchers, playing in the Japanese professional league herself for a number of years and being one of the most effective players in that league. Just so consistent over such a long period of time.
2 balls and 1 strike on Stacey Porter. Great swing. Looks very relaxed at the plate, Stacey. See her hands nice and relaxed until she gets herself into that launch position. Just missing that inside edge. Takes the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Great discipline there from Stacey. She swung and missed at that pitch. They tried same position, up and in, and left that ball for a ball.
Porter goes deep to the left side. The left fielder going back. And a great catch taken by Harada in left field. That ends the top of the first. The Aussie Spirit unable to get a run on the board.
That's a great piece of the ball there from Stacey. As we mentioned, it is 40 degrees. So that ball just hung up in the air as we see the replay of that double play. As I mentioned, many coaches do actually say if in that situation, if you do see that it's a strike and you're the base runner, you treat it as though it's a steal and you bank on your batter. Getting that ball on the ground, as I said, unfortunately, just popping that up. But just so reactive, the Japanese side.
Ellen Roberts will start things off on the mound for the Aussie Spirit. So we have Sam Poole at left field, Rachel Lack at centre, Janice Blackman at right. Harada will lead off and goes after that first pitch. Sam Poole at left field, straight into the action, tracks that one down nicely. And then he's one quick out for the Aussie Spirit.
And I think that's sending a signal to this Aussie Spirit team that they're not here to muck around. If there's a pitch to be hit, and even that one was up in the zone, they're going to be aggressive in the box.
Yuka Ichiguchi steps up. Ichiguchi goes after the first pitch as well. Easy catch taken by Stacey McManus. Well, Ellen Roberts will be very happy with this. 2 pitches, 2 quick outs.
Especially in this sort of heat, the sooner they can get back into the dugout and have a well-earned sit down and drink.
Yeah, neither team will want to be out on this diamond for 1 pitch longer than required here today.
Ball.
Particularly that all-dirt infield. Very, very hot down there on the playing field. Atsumi now. She takes the first pitch. 1 ball on her. Ground ball to the right side. McManus to Falk, 4 pitches, 3 outs. What a start for the Aussies.
That's a fantastic innings there from Ellen, not trying to do too much with the ball. And I think, as I said, this Japanese side is sending a signal to the Aussie spirit. They're not here to muck around. If there's a ball to be hit, they're going to be aggressive in the box. We heard Lucy, the assistant coach, mention that it is a younger team. With the inclusion of softball in the 2020 Olympic Games, these younger players are here to make their mark and crack that coveted Japanese jersey. So they're here to be aggressive.
Yeah, they certainly are. We saw the replay of all those 3 outs there. 3 very quick outs for the Aussies. So 1 completed inning gone here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It is 0-0. And you said, Fiona, about 2020, what a wonderful thing is for the game of softball, and we'll see baseball there as well being included into the next Olympic Games. It's you've been there and you've been part of it. For these younger players, it certainly gives them something else to strive for in their sport. 100%. It's
the pinnacle of any sport to be at the Olympic Games. So these athletes having the opportunity to call themselves an Olympian is a life-changing experience.
And as you know, Fiona, it's a tag that you can proudly live with for the rest of your life. Once you are an Olympian, you are an Olympian for life.
That's right. You're never a past Olympian.
Never a former Olympian.
Never a former Olympian.
Chelsea Falcon, the first base, leading things off for the Aussie spirit here in the top of the second. Hamamura on the mound once again for Japan. Falcon pops up that first pitch. Ichiguchi has a bit of work to do, but ends up coming around. I thought the first base might have had a play on that one, but Ichiguchi, the little more range there at second base, takes the catch and gets the first out for Japan.
And I think the humidity out here this evening is making that ball really swirl around in the air. As you said, it did come off the bat looking as though it was going straight to Ichiguchi at second, but did swing around and come back closer to Sagama. But bringing to the plate here, Taylor Titsakronis.
Young girl from New South Wales, and what a Gilly Shield final she had this year was outstanding in the New South Wales victory this year, and great to see her back in the green and gold as well. A wry smile got changed up there on that pitch, and Hamamura looks to have a very good off-speed pitch there, and important for the Aussie batters just to hold their hands back and wait on the right pitch for them.
And again, we've seen her throw 2 change-ups in a row. She threw 2 change-ups to Stacey Porter, 2 change-ups here to Taylor Titsakronis. So obviously utilising that change of pace to really mix things up here for the Aussie Spirit hitters.
Ground ball to the left side. And a simple out by there, Kobata. Titsakronis shows some good wheels there, but the out was made by Japan, and that is the second now for the Aussie Spirit here in the top of the second.
Hamamura, one of the up-and-coming stars of the Japanese softball team, considered somebody to certainly watch. Her idol is Ueno, one of the undoubtedly the greatest pitcher in the game at the moment. So coming from good pedigree there.
And as we're saying about the Olympics coming up in 2020 now, it makes these international tournaments all the more important, not just year on year, but for the progression of all of these sizes. They look to qualify and be part of the Olympics in a few years' time.
An opportunity to play against the #1 side in the world. These opportunities are few and far between. Funding in the sport, we don't have the opportunity to travel around the globe to have these sorts of games. So any chance to face the class act that is this Japanese side, these players need to relish.
You mentioned Stacey Porter playing over in Japan, and there's other girls who are playing internationally, but for a lot of girls, particularly the younger ones, they don't have that exposure to the best players sort of week on week. But it's great, as you say, to have this sort of tournament in Australia for the best of the best to come together.
Yep. And it was such a success last year, so it's fantastic for these players to get the chance to play against the Japanese side as well. Albeit, even if it is their B team, you know, they come here to play. Make no bones about that. They could field their A side or their B side, and they are still 100% competitive.
Exactly what Stacey Porter said at the top of the show. It doesn't matter what 9 players or 10 players they put in their lineup. You know you're in for a very, very tough game whenever Japan takes to the diamond. A big swing and a miss there by Sam Poole, the left fielder. Count on her is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sam Poole chases that pitch high in the zone. She goes down swinging. That is the 3rd out for the Aussie Spirit in the top of the 2nd. It's still 0-0. Let's take a look at the replay of the couple of the outs. This is Chelsea Falcon, and as we said, Ichiguchi had a bit of work to do there. Fiona, the second base.
Yeah, we can see as it did come off the bat and it curls all the way around. Managed to leg it to get that out.
And then Taylor Titsakronis, the ground ball to Kawabata, and easy as you like in the end. So Titsakronis showed some good wheels there, but got it within a stride. So some good defensive work by Team Japan. They will now head back to the batter's box, and Ellen Roberts, she will step up here once again for the Aussie Spirit. So Ellen Roberts was part of the New South Wales lineup in the Gillies Shield. Didn't get a start for the final this year, but no doubt was a big part of their campaign, and again will be a big part of Australia's campaign as well across this tournament.
Yeah, fantastic opportunity here for Ellen Roberts to face these Japanese hitters.
Natsuko Sagama is leading things off here for Team Japan. Starting at first base today. And she drives one up the middle. That is the first base hit of the afternoon for Team Japan. Sagama just driving that ground ball through the infield. And that gives Japan their first runner on base for the match. A good piece of the ball, Fiona.
Yeah, and lovely piece of hitting there. Ellen Roberts put a little bit too much of that ball over the plate. And Claire Warwick at shortstop just unable to get a glove to that ball.
Nazumi Nagasaki is the next batter up here for Team Japan. Runner on first base. A good strike there on the outside edge.
Not looking to bunt as yet, giving the batter the option to swing away and hopefully drive that runner to second base to get into scoring position.
1-1 on Nagasaki. Pops up to the left side. Sam Poole tracking this one down in foul territory, takes the catch. Runner will remain at first, and that is 1 out for Japan. Nagasaki just reaching for that one a little, didn't quite get all of it. And a pretty good catch taken by Sam Poole.
Kawabata here needs to get this ball on the ground to move that runner to second base.
This one drops this one down. Titsakronis picks it up and throws that one to right field. Runner rounds second, rounds third, and that will be the first run of the match for Japan. Sagama is the runner who will score. Well, uncharacteristic error there by Taylor Titsakronis. We can see on replay. She calls off Stacey Porter, but then just couldn't come up with the throw. Chelsea Falcon didn't have a play on it either at first base, well over her head, and in the end, Team Japan get one across the plate.
That's a perfect bunt there by Kawabata. And as we can't actually see that, but it did come off the fence. Janice Blackman unable to field that ball, that overthrow cleanly, which unfortunately allowed Kawabata to get to third base.
Yeah, and Taylor Titsakronis left herself open there. That's why I suppose she got rid of that throw and threw it well over the head. And Janice Blackman couldn't quite get a handle on it at right field as well. So in the end, 1 run scores, 1 run to third base. And Japan lead this one 1 run to 0.
1 run scores for Japan.
Stacey Porter calling the infield quite rightly, just telling the girls just to calm down, settle down. There's a runner on third base, but unfortunately 1 error led to 2 there, which has led to the first run of the game.
And Minami Sato, the catcher, she'll step up with her for her first at bat of the game. Roberts just running that on the inside corner there, just misses the called strike.
James English, the plate umpire, just saying it missed the inside corner.
And goes inside again. Good pitching there by Ellen Roberts. Just caught the inside corner on that occasion. 1-1 is the count now on Sato.
You can see a shot there of Claire Warwick and Stacey McManus inside the baseline, looking to protect that runner at third base.
Yeah, giving away one, they won't want to give away another. Yeah, with one out here, the infield playing in. We saw on the right side as well. Chelsea Falcon playing in, as will Stacey McManus. So anything in the infield, they will be all looking to fire. Well, at least hold the runner, if not, try and throw her out at home plate to restrict this lead to just 1 run. On a great catch taken by Chelsea Falcon, diving across to the right-hand side. So not only takes a great catch, but ensures that runner stays at third.
As you said, a fantastic catch there by Chelsea. Quite often those ones can be a little tricky. They look like they're coming fast off the bat, where in actual fact they just come off the end. So she was able to maintain her balance and put a good dive at the end to secure that catch. So great work there by Chelsea.
Makiko Iguchi steps up now for Japan. Starting this match at centre field. You can see the batting style here of Iguchi Fiona. Her hands very high, holding the bat high. And we see a lot of Japanese softballers and baseballers having their hands nice and high like that, but I suppose for the kids watching at home, it's their launch position and their contact is where you'll see that their hands are always the same.
Yep, very high, as you said, very high hands, making sure that they never swing up for a ball, but very short and contact, very compact swing. They don't have a lot of big, long swings. Simply just throw their hands to the ball.
And when they're facing pitches, the likes of Ellen Roberts and faster, you don't have time for a big long swing. As you say, the short, sharp, compact, keep your hands inside the ball. Is important.
Exactly, and nor do you need it when you've got the pace of a pitcher like Ellen Roberts. There's no need to put a long swing on the ball. They kindly do most of the work for you.
That one fouled away, and the runner will stay at third. The count remains at 2-2.
And we can see the Japanese batters, even now in the third innings, going a little bit longer in the count. We saw the first 2 hitters hit the first 2 pitches. First innings was only 4 pitches, but they're going deeper and deeper into the count to get a better look at Ellen Roberts.
Fouled away once again. So a good at bat here by Iguchi. Keeps herself alive, keeps this inning alive. Looking to see if she can extend this 1-0 lead with a runner on third base with 2 out. Line drive by Iguchi, taken by Stacey Porter at third base. Simple as you like for the veteran. That ends 2 completed innings, Japan leading 1-0. So let's take a look. That's a diving play by Chelsea Falk, and that's outstanding.
You can see just able to stay on her feet long enough to launch for that ball. If that ball had have dropped, that would have been easily another run scored.
And then the line drive there taken by Stacey Porter. Pretty simple in the end for the veteran third base. And a great shot there of her. Takes it right in front of her face. So 2 great plays here by the Aussie Spirit. And that will end it, but not before Japan get the first run across the plate. Top of the third, they lead it by 1 run to 0. It's still quite a red sky in Fiona. It is still pretty damn hot here at Blacktown. And even though we're coming into early evening.
It is, as you said, Glenn, it's very, very hot. We've got a great shot there of the diamond. And again, a huge shout out to the Blacktown Council and Softball New South Wales staff to make sure that this ground is in tip-top condition. And not too hard. I think that's what's critical. Once that diamond dries out, it's deadly for the infielders, but they've been able to maintain it. So full marks to all involved.
Yeah, it really is a fantastic facility for the sport out here in the West. And Blacktown was Olympic Sports Park, now International Sports Park, home of a number of sports out here now. It's a real jewel in the crown of sport at all levels out here in the western part of Sydney. Warwick drops down the bunt. Hamamura picks it up, and great work there by Ichiguchi, the second base, to come around and to cover the base and to get the out. It's a good defensive work once again for Japan. Australia unable to get a runner on base here, and they are 1 away here in the bottom of the third.
Easy as you come to from Hamamura, just so calm under pressure, able to get that ball over to first base.
And that brings Stacey McManus, the second base for the Aussie Spirit, stepping up here. Had a bit of action defensively in the game so far. Let's see what she can do with the bat as she steps up here in the bottom of the third. Ball on the outside, and Stacey McManus, another one of the New South Wales players in this lineup, been in part of the setup for a while now. Another one who'll be certainly have her eyes on 2020.
And such a versatile player. She's effective at both shortstop and second base. And a very consistent hitter too. Stacey's got a very good command of her own strike zone. Make sure she only swings at good pitches.
They're looking for her pitch. That one wasn't it. Called a strike. The 2-2.
2 strikes.
The count now on Stacey McManus. Way out of the zone. McManus making Hamamura work here.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
She's taking the count, as you can hear. 3 balls and 2 strikes, a full count on Stacey McManus. Yeah, great work by McManus, drawing the walk there and giving the Aussie Spirit a starter here in the bottom of the third with 1 out. And that will bring Rachel Lack up to the plate now for the Aussie Spirit, starting at centre field here today at Blacktown International Sports Park. So 1 out, the number 9 hitter. This is for the Aussie Spirit with 1 out. Important at bat here, Fiona, with the top of the order back up in a moment. Try and get that runner, advance that runner around a second, get someone in a scoring position to see if we can tie this game up.
And it's so interesting to see the battery strategy of the Japanese pitcher and catcher. Runner on first base, and they lead off with a change-up for a strike. So you can just Most pitchers throw the change-up as a bit of a throwaway pitch, but obviously Hamamura is so effective and can throw that pitch for a strike with confidence.
You said the catcher Sato having great confidence in her, and particularly with a runner on first base, that change up can end up in the dirt. So obviously the catcher backing herself as well, backing the pitcher to throw a strike. But if it doesn't, she'll keep that ball in front and keep the runner at first.
Rachel just fouling that ball back. It's one thing that the Aussie Spirit team need to make sure that they're effective in their short game. You know, getting runners on base is critical, and quite often playing against Japan, they're few and far between. So when these runners get on base, it's critical that these bunts get put on the ground and the runners are advanced to second base. That said, it's not just getting the bunt on the ground. It's got to be in the right position because they're so aggressive, and if it's bunted too hard, they'll take the out at second.
And a strikeout for Rachel Lack. That is the second out here for the Aussie Spirit. Stacey McManus remains at first base.
It's what I love watching about this Japanese team play. They love the game. So they're all smiles. They're only one run up. There's a runner on first base. This is a pressure situation, but they're still smiling and enjoying themselves.
It almost takes that bit of stress out of the game, isn't it? That they can still, they're in. It is a tough game. It is a close game, but you're enjoying it. You're doing the fundamentals right. Well, your result could just look after itself. That being said, they're such an effective team as we've seen defensively. They've been absolutely rock solid, and in the batter's box, very selective on their pitches and only cutting it at the right pitch for them.
Well, they're just so well drilled, Glenn. You know, they live, eat and breathe, quite literally, softball. You know, they play for the company that they work for. They only work part-time and train, you know, upwards of 6 hours a day, and then play on the weekends. But you know, as they say, it's not a chore, it's not a job if you love what you do, and clearly these Japanese athletes do that.
I suppose it says something for the Aussie Spirit team as well. You know, you say these girls are living and breathing in Japan. It's very much, I suppose, you know, it's not professional. It's not even semi-professional here in Australia. So to have the talent that we have on show, and then be able to match it with these best players in the world, it's certainly a great credit to the Aussie team. Pass ball there allows Stacey McManus to advance to second. Janice Blackman, the leadoff hitter, she's back in the batter's box now. Count 2-2 on her. But it really is a different way of life for the sport in Japan to what these girls know it here in Australia.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And even, you know, Stacey Porter and Kaya Parnaby have the opportunity to play in the Japanese league to get a taste of what it is that these athletes are required to do. And they're only better players for it.
Janice Blackman lines this one to third base. Kawabata affects the easy out. Stacey McManus is stranded on second base. No runs for the Aussies. Let's take a look at the replays once again. That defensive work there by Japan, outstanding. Not the worst bump we've seen, but Hamamura was on the spot there. And then Janice Blackman, line drive to Kawabata to get the, to be the final out here. Easy as you like there at third base. Well, it's time to take a break here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It is Japan leading 1-0.
On Fox Sports, you're watching the Down Under International Softball Series. Our coverage proudly supported by Softball Australia, the Australian Sports Commission, Eastern, Great Treks, NSR Australia and New Zealand, and SportsLink International.
Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. This is the Down Under series where the Aussie Spirit is taking on Team Japan, and it is the visitors who are currently leading by 1-0. It is the bottom of the third. And Nagatsuma is the lead-off here for Japan. Ellen Roberts straight back into her action once again. Sending the first one down for a strike. Ball on the outside. Fiona, you said earlier about the Japan. A lot of these players are working and playing the game professionally over there. Very different the way they play the game, but this style of play, is it very different to the style of play that the Aussies play?
It is. They're far more aggressive in terms of and how they approach not only their hitting but also their base running. You see they take a lot of risks, but that's only because that they have such faith in their players that they believe that they're going to get more than just one runner on base. So their premise is to put pressure on the field, and as I mentioned earlier, their swings are quite compact. They just look to hit the ball hard and put pressure on particularly the infield.
That ball lined out to Sam Poole at left field. That is the first out for Japan. And we saw that aggressive hitting in the first one, only 4 pitches to get the first 3 outs for the Aussies. And, they're taking the counts a little bit deeper now, seeing a little bit more of Ellen Roberts. But as you say, still very effective in there at bat, not leaving too many good pitches over the plate.
Nice change of pace there from Ellen Roberts. And as you can see, that these Japanese athletes aren't big girls. They're quite short, they're very compact, and they really utilise their size to their advantage.
Certainly have plenty of speed about them as well. They see them not just motoring up and down the base paths, but also in the field as well, moving very quickly around the field. This is Harada at the plate now. 1-1 the count on her.
Shaping to bunt there.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Keeping the corners, Falcon and Porter on their toes.
Harada pops this one up. The corners converge, and Chelsea Falcon unable to take that catch there. Well, Falcon, Porter, and even the catcher Titsakronis could have had a play on it. In the end, it was Chelsea Falcon who decks that one to give Japan a runner on first. Let's take a look again. You see the corners converge, and Stacey Porter certainly had a play on it, but just couldn't take the catch.
Yeah, it's what's known as the head-banging zone for a reason. Chelsea Falcon calling off both Taylor Titsakronis and Stacey Porter. You can see her acknowledging it was, yep, my mistake. Unfortunately puts a runner at first base for this Japanese side.
Ichiguchi, the second base for Japan. Drops this one down. Stacey Porter makes the play and gets the out there at first base. Great play. Running in there for the third base, Stacey Porter.
Great throw on the run there from Stacey, and equally fantastic take by Stacey McManus, reaching across in front of Ichiguchi, motoring up first baseline. So a good out, still leaving a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the third.
And that brings to the plate the shortstop for Japan, Mana Atsumi. So a big play here for Japan. Runner at second. And they drive this second run across the plate. Still early days in this game, but very, very tight. The second run could be very important in the context of this match. See Taylor Titsakronis sitting up right outside there, not wanting to give the hitter Atsumi anything.
And giving Ellen Roberts a really clear picture of where she wants the ball.
Two balls only on Atsumi. Just trying to change up there and just drops out of the strike zone.
Three
So
balls.
a bit of work to do here for Ellen Roberts, dragging 3 balls and 0.
You can see in the background there, Coach Kelly Hardy, the battery coach for the Aussie Spirit team. This is much as an opportunity to play against the best team in the world as it is a scouting opportunity to really get some good data on the strengths and weaknesses of these Japanese players.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Kelly there with her clipboard.
Base hit for Itsumi out to left field. Sam Poole sends that one into Stacey McManus. She fires home. And what an out there by the Aussies. A big play to defend the home plate once again. Sam Poole takes the catch, hits the cutoff, and Stacey Porter nails Titsakronis at home to get the runner.
And I think that may have caught Stacey Porter a little bit by surprise. Ordinarily, you wouldn't send a base runner from 2 and a shallow ball to left field, but Stacey up to the task.
Yeah, you can see Stacey Porter probably wasn't set there. She had her back to the home plate, but still got the ball well in time and nails the runner. A big out there for Australia to restrict this lead to Japan by just 1 run. You can see there, the runner actually looked like she was going to stop. She didn't expect to go home either, and in the end, wasn't even close at home plate. A great tag there by Taylor Titsakronis.
But again, that throw had to be on the money, otherwise we would have been looking at a 2-0 ball game. As I said, it's just that constant pressure that keeps opposition teams on their toes.
Yeah, great work in the field there by the Aussies.
Play ball.
It is the Aussie Spirit back to the plate. And Kana Keifu is the new pitcher on the mound for Japan. And that is Lee Godfrey, the designated player. Her second trip to the plate now. And real whippy action here for Keifu.
Deceivingly, he's got a lot of speed.
Ground ball to the right side. A simple out there for Team Japan. Lee Godfrey retired. That is 1 away for the Aussies. So we'll have a look at Keifu once again. Fiona, as she steps up, she leans into that pitch, but she really gets through her delivery really quickly.
Just explodes off that mound.
Stacey Porter goes after the first pitch, grounds that back to Keifu. Easy out at first base once again. All of a sudden, 2 very quick outs for Team Australia.
And traditionally what Keifu does is vary the pace at which she pitches, and not the velocity of the ball, but the pace at which she takes her time on the mound to when she releases the ball.
Yeah, a pitcher like that really takes command of the game there and will play it at her pace, at her speed, and won't be rushed by the hitters or anyone else in the game. This is Chelsea Falcon, first base for the Aussie Spirit.
You can see Keifu just getting the ball back from the pitcher, no mucking around, no walking to the back of the circle, straight back on that plate.
Chelsea Falcon drops down the bunt, and great wheels by her. Keifu gets a play on it, but in the end, Chelsea Falcon legs that one out. Give the Aussies a starter here. An all-important runner on base with 2 out in the top of the 4th.
A great option there also for the Aussie Spirit team, knowing that they weren't getting a lot of bat on ball, going for the short game. I actually think Keifu may have thought that third base Kawabata was going to come in, sweep in and pick that ball up. So hesitated just slightly enough for Chelsea Falcon to get on base.
Yeah, certainly an element of surprise there by Chelsea Falcon. No runners on, 1 out. Bunting for a base hit, not just advancing the runner, but bunting to try and get herself on, and that's exactly what she did.
Taylor would have liked to have a go at that ball. A little bit of a smile there, knowing she's probably not going to get one down the chute like that again.
Taylor Titsakronis, the catcher for the Aussie Spirit. Count is 1-1 on her. Oh, that one just into foul territory. The lights taking full effect here now, Fiona. The sun has gone down, giving us a little bit of respite. Still a very warm night here in Sydney's West.
Still in the high 30s here this evening.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Chelsea Falcon looking at coach Fabian Barlow, see if there's a steal signal or a hit and run. Some kind of play to put some pressure on this Japanese infield.
Pitch well out of the strike zone there, trying to tempt Taylor Titsakronis.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good discipline for her. Lets that one go. Just chasing that pitch on the outside edge. It's enough to foul it back. Give yourself another crack.
You can see Sato setting up very late in the box, but if it's an inside pitch, setting up right on the corner and likewise outside, giving James English, plate umpire, full view of the plate.
Taylor Titsakronis lets that one go. Called a strike by the home plate umpire. That ends the top of the 4th inning. And it is still Japan leading it by 1-0. Taking a look at these replays once again. This superb defensive work by Japan there. And that's Ichiguchi, the second base. She's done plenty in the field tonight already. And that one straight back to the pitcher. Easy as you like. So they've certainly been solid in the field here, Fiona, just doing the fundamentals right every time.
They are, and I think the Aussie Spirit team is just getting a little frustrated, just unable to get solid contact on the ball. As we see here, Chelsea Falcon, who is a power hitter herself, fantastic speed, using the options and just creating opportunities here.
Yeah, catches the defence, actually by a bit of by surprise a little bit there. I don't think they were expecting Chelsea Falcon to try and bunt for a base hit on that occasion. That's what she did, and did it well. So we now move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ellen Roberts still pitching here for Australia, and is Sagama who will lead things off for Japan.
Ellen's been so effective in that change of pace and also her drop ball, just getting the inside and outside low corners. And it's a good strategy by the Aussie Spirit battery here, going down and away to get an early strike, then up and in to get that cheap foul ball, and now they're in a position with no balls and 2 strikes and plenty to play with.
Well, obviously we have Australia and Japan on show here, but it's New Zealand and also an all-star team part of this Down Under series, Fiona. The all-star team being another Australian side. Obviously a look to the future there, and trying to get as many of, I suppose, the best of players in Australia, expose them to the best of the overseas as well, with a game of 2020 on the radar.
Exactly, and as I mentioned earlier, you know, any opportunity to play, not just Japan, but any international team, you know, in New Zealand, they've got a quality side. So it's good to see that we don't just have, you know, 15 players on a roster. We've now got 30 players on a roster having international exposure, which, you know, money can't buy.
Ball.
Just missing the inside corner. You can see Taylor, bit of a smile there, asking the question. How much did it miss
3
by?
balls, 2 strikes.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Foul.
Fouled away once again. The count is now full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat here by the leadoff. Roberts steps up again, takes her position on the pitcher's plate. Looking to get this first out here for the Aussie Spirit. Sagama goes after that pitch, drives it to centre field, Rachel Lack. Great job there, tracking that ball at centre field, and that is 1 away for Japan. It's a line drive there, Fiona. I thought they might have dipped in there, but held up in the outfield, and an easy catch in there taken by Rachel Lack. So Nazumi Nagasaki is the new batter to the plate.
And you can see Nagasaki right in the very back corner of the batter's box, giving herself ample time to see the ball, but also options if she wants to go with a running slap option. She's got the full length of the box to affect that play.
Hey.
1-1 on the hitter Nagasaki.
Looking very composed in the box, I must say.
Hey.
Yeah, great poise, all of these hitters we've seen. We've seen their pitches on the mound, very much the same. Not a lot rattles them, not a lot disturbs them when they're on the field. Interesting little preparation there for Nagasaki, just dropping a backhand off the bat to the last minute.
3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
See our shot there, she just
1 strike.
drops it down to the side.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Time.
And we can see Hamamura
You got 3.
in the background, just down that left field line,
Okay, thanks.
just making sure that that she stays warm. Ironically, staying warm on a night like this evening.
One would think it's not too much of a problem, but
Hence, she's not warming up too hard.
Ball.
just missing on the outside edge.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
So there is the count, full count on the hitter Nagasaki. Pops this one up. There's a centre fielder, Rachel Lack, and Sam Poole both converge. In the end, it is Sam Poole, the left fielder, who takes the grab. And is now 2 away for Japan. And a wry smile on the face of Nagasaki as well, realising he didn't quite get all of that. Managing just to pop that up to left field for the second out.
And it was a great shot there of Nagasaki getting some tips from the Japanese head coach Reika Itsugi, one of the greatest third bases to come out of Japan, played in the 2000 and 2004 Olympic teams, now head coach of the Japanese team. An interesting story, Glenn. Was originally born in China and was adopted to a Japanese softballing family. And her dad was actually the coach of the 2004 Athens Olympic team. And good to see he's passed on the mantle to his adopted daughter, who's now the head coach of the Japanese team and will be all the way through until 2020.
Yeah, and isn't it fabulous for Japan to have a player of her stature still remaining involved with the game and passing on her wealth of knowledge and understanding of the game to the next generation.
And she was a fierce opponent too, I have to say, Glenn, one of the most intimidating third base players. you could face. Nice shot there of third base umpire Ron Hewson.
3 balls,
Nice
1
to see
strike.
we've got a family affair here in the umpiring stakes with his wife Amanda, first base umpire for this evening's game.
This one popped up. Janice Blackman tracking this one down, and a fair catch taken by her as well. Great work by Janice Blackman. Tracked that ball down at right field, takes that one into foul territory. Well, that is 4 completed innings gone here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It is still Team Japan leading by 1 run to 0.
On Fox Sports, you're watching the Down Under International Softball Series. Our coverage proudly supported by Softball Australia, the Australian Sports Commission, Eastern, Great Treks, NSR Australia and New Zealand, and SportsLink International.
Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. This is the Down Under Series. Australia taking on Japan. Here's Japan leading it by 1 run to 0. We now move into the top of the 5th. Kaifu on the mound for Japan, and Sam Poole, the left fielder, will lead things off for the Aussies. Fiona, we saw Hamamura outstanding on the mound to start things off, and Kaifu now equally to the task here up against the Aussie hitters.
Yep, great change of pace there. Really fooled Sam there, had a bit of a laugh. Looking to come back now and get a good quality hit on the ball.
Oh, a one-hopper to the shortstop Atsumi, and a good scoop in the end by Saguma, the first base. Atsumi made it work for the out there, but a really good play there by the shortstop. That ball, those one-hoppers can really skip through.
They can, particularly, as we know, it is quite hot out here. The diamond is hard. Really picked that up, made it look easy. Not the best throw over to first base, but I tell you what, Sagama made that pick look very easy.
Claire Warwick is to the plate now for the Aussie Spirit, shortstop here tonight.
Nice to see Claire back in action. She's been out injured, so we'll be looking forward to this challenge. A quality player, Claire Warwick, coached by 2 fabulous coaches in Sally McCready, one of the best players that Softball Australia has ever produced, and her lovely husband Richard. So she's certainly in very capable hands there with the McCreadys.
Warwick lines this one to the shortstop, and a great catch taken by Atsumi. So shortstop into the action once again for Japan. The ball just looked like it was going to dip on her, but in the end gets the glove underneath. So 2 quick outs here for Japan. Stacey McManus, second base, now steps up.
Had a good turn at bat last turn at bat where she picked a walk, going very deep into the count. Let's see if she can make something happen here with 2 outs.
Cold strike that time. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Stacey McManus. Kaifu working away from the hitter. McManus gets a little bit on it, pops it away. She'll go back to the plate with 1 ball and 2 strikes on her.
All players looking to dry their hands. Got all outside here on Stacey this turn at bat.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Let's see if they'll jump back in on her this time. So worked away, worked away, worked away. Yeah, setting up right. A great pitch on the inside edge there. That's it. That's great work there by the catcher, setting up the hitter with the outside pitch, then comes back in with that great pitch on that inside corner to get the strikeout.
As we can see, replay here. Nice solid hit. Fantastic pick up there by Sagama at first base. Again, not the best throw.
A great shot of the scoop there by Sagama.
And again, another nice piece of the ball there by Claire Warwick. Just unlucky. Oh, a little bit of a tumble there.
Picks herself up, has a bit of a smile, and heads back to the dugout. Bottom of the fifth now, Ellen Roberts still pitching here for Team Australia. This is the change in the lineup for Japan. Nayu Kiyahara steps up, goes after the first pitch. Puts that one into foul territory, so she'll go back with one strike. She replaces the catcher, Sato. So we'll see a defensive change here for Japan when they go back into the field. Up and out of the zone. 1-1 is the count on the new hitter. Kiyahara pops up. McManus calls it and takes the catch in foul territory. So she ends up picking it close to the first base there, Fiona, but a bit better range there, and she probably had a better look at that pop-up than what Chelsea Falcon did at first.
Yeah, it's always easier to come in on a ball than to go back on a ball. So nice call there by Stacey McManus at second base.
Mikiko Iguchi, the centre fielder, up now with one away.
Play ball. Hey!
Roberts comes back to strike. 1-1. Drops the bunt down. Stacey Porter makes the play, and Stacey McManus comes across to cover first base. So two away now for Team Japan, and defensively very good once again for the Aussies.
Yep, great play there by Stacey Porter. Safe as houses over to Stacey McManus.
Hey!
Agatsuma takes the first pitch for a strike. One in the dirt there for Taylor Titsakronis to pick up. Count as 1-1. So we're starting to get late in the game here, Fiona. A big defensive innings here for the Aussies to try and keep Japan scoreless. Oh, this one's popped into centre field. Rachel Lack can't come up with the play. McManus goes back and picks it up, and they get the play at second. Wow, well, we thought we were going to take a catch there. That didn't happen, but great heads-up baseball by Stacey McManus to get the ball back in. The tag affected at second base by Stacey Porter.
We can see here on replay, nice early call there by Stacey McManus for the first out.
Yeah, she's been solid at second base today, on the ground and in the air. And the bunt play again, Fiona, we spoke about this. McManus, great heads-up play from her once again, and Stacey Porter, great as always, running in.
It's a little bit too much on that bunt. Easy play there by Porter at third. This interesting play just drops in. Rachel Lack, unfortunately, unable to take that catch. But fantastic heads-up base coverage there by Stacey Porter, realising that all players were drawn out into the outfield. You can see her recognising that that base is open. Grabs the ball and makes the play.
Yeah, a great display there for any young softballers watching. You've always got a job to do. There's always somewhere where you need to be in the play there. Stacey Porter effective with the third base, but had the peace of mind there to see the open base and leaked it over there. Great work by her, and could be the difference with another run there, but great work to shut it down. So we now move to the top of the sixth. It is Rachel Lack, centre fielder, who will lead things off.
Had a pitching change here. Azumi has come in to relieve Kaifu. Again, we'll see not wasting a lot of time on the mound. Getting straight into the pitch. Actually catching Rachel Lack a little bit unawares there. Looking to quick pitch these Aussie batters.
A change of pace there. And a great pitch there. See Rachel Lack just popping up to second base. Their off-speed pitch. They just got her hands out early, and all she could do was just pop that one up. So back to the top of the order now. Janice Blackman will step up for the Aussie Spirit.
Ball. Swing.
Shoots down to umpire Ron Hewson at third base. Did she go? Yes, she did.
One strike.
Says Ron.
Ball.
1-1 now on Janice Blackman.
Hey.
This is the time now for the Aussie Spirit to
One
step
ball,
up.
two
Fiona,
strikes.
one out here in the bottom of the sixth. Only 5 more outs in this match. Top of the order up. It's now or never really.
Foul ball.
Ground ball by Janice Blackman, just pulled foul. She'll step back up with 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Janice Blackman needs to make something happen here. Top of the lineup.
Just pops that one up in the third base. Kawabata takes a very, very simple catch. So yeah, definitely would love to have done a bit more with it than that. So 2 outs now for the Aussie Spirit. Left-hander Lee Godfrey steps up now, the designated player. Goes after that first pitch. Ichiguchi on the spot once again. Another great out by her. That ends the top of the 6th inning. The Aussies unable to make an impact once again. It is still Japan leading by 1 run to 0.
It's a great shot there of the Australian assistant coach Kim Tolinair, one of the great Australian catchers. So talking about coaches having their athletes in the best hands, certainly the case there with Kim Tolinair.
And Ellen Roberts getting through plenty of work tonight. She's got through 5 innings and backing up now for the 6th.
Yeah, it's good to see that Coach Fabian Barlow was leaving the ball with Ellen Roberts. It's a tough gig out there tonight. It's very hot and steamy. But Ellen is certainly taking charge of this Japanese team. As we've said, although the scoreline does say it's 1-0, that was on errors. Hits very few and far between.
Popped up, Chelsea Falcon around and takes the catch.
It's a bit of a smile there, makes no mistake of that one.
Yeah, she would have been very happy after decking that one and running in a little bit earlier. That one was a little bit easier for her. So she gets that first out. And this will bring up Ichiguchi, second base for Japan. A great night she's had. Oh, where's that first pitch? Yeah, didn't miss her.
Oh, that's right in the back of the shoulder blade.
Yeah, Ellen Roberts looking for something maybe up and in and lost control of it a little.
Oh, the magic spray, out it comes.
And won't that be nice and cool on a hot night like this?
Looks like we've got a base running change here. Masuda coming in to run for Ichiguchi.
Yeah, she didn't have much chance of getting out of the way of that one, did she?
No malice at all in that. That was just a wayward inside rise.
Play ball. Ball.
Likewise, I think the Japanese team would be looking to make something happen here. You know, one run isn't enough against this quality Aussie Spirit side. So Utsumi would be looking to put this ball into play and move that runner around.
Yeah, they've certainly been aggressive. You can't see it leading up here. It's a 1-1. The count on Mana Utsumi.
Break.
It's a great pitch by Emlyn Roberts, but good heads up catching there by Taylor Titsakronis. Straight up on her feet there, looking to throw to ensure that runner doesn't head across to second.
See Taylor setting up nice and wide, giving the plate umpire ample opportunity to see the plate, but also getting herself into a good position on the chance that Masuda steals to 2.
And that's what Matsuda does. She goes that time and shows great speed. Titsakronis got the ball away pretty well, but just a little bit too quick. So Masuda on second base now here in the bottom of the 6th, 1 out. So in that all-important scoring position.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Full count on Utsumi. What can she do here with a full count? Takes a pitch high in the zone. That gives her a walk, in Japan runners on first and second.
Big defensive plays here for the Aussie Spirit.
One ball.
Sagama, the first base for Japan.
Hey.
Takes that one right down the middle of the strike zone. A good pitch by Ellen Roberts. 1-1 on Sagama now. This one popped up.
Infield fly, batter is out.
And that is an infield fly called by the home plate umpire. And Fiona, for those uninitiated, tell us about the infield fly.
Infield fly is runners on 1 and 2 and less than 2 out. A pop fly in the infield, the batter's automatically out. The runners can run, but they're not forced to do so. So if there's a play to be made on them, they need to be tagged.
So that gives a second out, a very important out for the Aussies. Still runners on first and second for Japan. This is Nagasaki up to the plate once again. Hits this one straight back to Ellen Roberts. Just knocks it down, but does well to recover and get a very, very important out for Team Australia. Chelsea Falcon again at first base. Well, that was outstanding work. Let's take a look at the outs once again. That is the infield fly that was called by the home plate umpire. Runners going nowhere and a very cheap and easy out, just what they needed.
Let's see Taylor trying to move the batter out of the way on the chance that she needed to take that catch. And a nice stop there by Ellen Roberts off the shin or the knee.
Yeah, getting anything she needs to behind it to knock it down. With the runner at second there, she was motoring home. So a huge out there for Ellen Roberts and the Aussies. We now come down to the top of the 7th. This is it for the Aussies. Stacey Porter, the third base, she will lead things off. And a big at bat for the veteran of Australian softball. Izumi still pitching for Japan. She's going to look to close this one out. Oh, change up, a great pitch. But the pop-up taken at first base by Sagama.
And Stacey waited on that pitch. She'll be disappointed that she didn't get a better cut on that ball because she did wait. Just unfortunately got underneath that. Chelsea Falcon holding up Azumi. I think that's what's unsettling these Aussie Spirit hitters. The quick pitching that Azumi's doing, getting on the plate and just throwing straight away, not allowing these Aussie Spirit hitters time to get set.
The 2 balls on Chelsea Falcon. Can she get something started here?
Hey.
A big cut on that inside edge.
It's a nice swing there.
Yeah, really good
from
piece
Chelsea.
of ball.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Again, we can see Azumi's just getting set on the plate even before Falcon's in the batter's box. So Chelsea really needs to hold her up.
Ball.
A change up on that inside edge. That is a great pitch.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Just good discipline there by Chelsea Falcon to hold back. Very similar to the pitch that got Stacey Porter out there, the at-bat previously. It's a 3-1. There's that change up again, driven to the right side, but it's just straight to the second base, Ichiguchi. And that is now 2 away in the top of the 7th for the Aussie Spirit.
Last chance here for Taylor Titsakronis.
Can she do something? The catcher. Oh, that one off the pitcher. And unable to make the play with an uncharacteristic error. I think the first error of the night for Japan, but geez, it was a tough one. That one coming off Azumi, but a hard-hit ball by Taylor Titsakronis in these situations. That's what you need to do. Get a good piece of the ball and drive it hard. Back yourself. So Taylor Titsakronis representing the tying run at first base, Sam Poole.
Ball.
We're looking here to advance, if not score, the Australian catcher.
Hey.
I'm not too sure if you saw on that last pitch there, but you can see the catcher, Sato, she's clapping her hands towards the inside of the plate and then moving to the outside, looking to confuse Sam Poole.
Ball.
You can see her setting up and then at the very last minute moving to the outside corner.
3 balls, 1 strike. Hey.
And that change up once again. Jeez, that's a good pitch.
I think coupled with the quick pitching,
3 balls,
so you're
2
being quick
strike.
pitch, you're being rushed, and then this change of pace that comes in about 15 kilometres slower is tough to hit.
Wow. That one's come out the back of the hand. That's confused everyone.
I've only ever seen that done as a trick pitch, not ever in an international game.
3 balls,
Shoot.
2 strikes.
Try and get a handle on it and step back onto the rubber once again.
Strike 3.
Oh, I'm swinging a miss. A great pitch by Azumi, and that will retire Sam Poole. That will end the match, and Japan have run out victors over the Aussie Spirit by 1-0. Well, Fiona, in the end, very little on the scoreboard between these two teams, but a clinical performance by Japan to win this one by 1-0.
Exactly, but Ellen Roberts can certainly hold her head high. She took control of the mound and really held those Japanese batters tight, so full marks to her. The girls can take a lot away from this game.
Well, Fiona's heading downstairs right now to catch up with firstly, the Japanese assistant coach, Lucy Mary Casares.
A hard-fought game here against the Aussie Spirit team. I'm here with the Japanese assistant coach, Lucy. So, as I said, a tough game, 1-0 scoreline. What do you think was the difference here tonight?
Roberts threw extremely well, I thought. She used her changeup very well. So I think we had a hard time catching up with her after her changeup. So she threw a great game. So we have to kind of work on our balance and getting used to her pitching. Yeah.
And anything else that you'll take away from the game? As I said, there was only really one hit in the game. Is there anything that particularly your batters are going to take away from tonight's game?
Well, we just need to have better reactions, and Roberts is a good pitcher, so it's just something we're going to have to make adjustments and practice tomorrow and get ready to face them again. Yes.
And speaking of pitchers, opting to use 3 pitchers here this evening, so giving all of the younger pitchers that you've got a chance to really prove their worth here on the international stage.
Right. Yeah, we brought a lot of young pitchers this time, and we just want to see how they perform against top international teams. So, yeah, it's been really good for them. See if they're nervous or not, and if they're getting their pitches in. And also the ball's a little different. We use a Mizuno ball. We're using an Easton here. So, but pitchers have to make that adjustment. So I think it's good for us to see how they're doing.
So I'm here with the Aussie Spirit pitcher, Ellen Roberts. Ellen throwing a full 7 innings in the heat this evening. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay now, but I think when I get home later today, I will probably be a bit more tired.
Look, you pitched a tremendous game, as I said, throwing the full 7 innings against the #1 team in the world, allowing only 2 hits. So what was the strategy going into the game today?
I've seen them a few times. I haven't thrown against them a lot, but Kaya on our team plays over there, and I talked with her and asked, what I should sort of do. And we spoke with the catchers about certain strategies, and me and Taylor just worked really well together, trying to stick to my spots and what she called, and I think it worked out today pretty good.
And learnings from today's game, if you were to get the ball, say, in the final, would you do anything differently?
I think today I kind of got a better understanding of what they're about, and I think I try and stick to kind of the same thing, same mental game, and go from there.
Well, a great performance by Japan, but Fiona, also a great hit out by the Aussies as well.
Yeah, fantastic. The ladies can hold their heads high, 1-0 against the #1 team in the world. Full credits to the girls.
Well, it's been an absolute scorcher here tonight at Blacktown International Sports Park. I'm Glenn Hawke. It's been great to be here in commentary alongside Olympian Fiona Crawford. And we'll catch you next time on the coverage of Australian softball.